If you are operating as a freelance multimedia professional, a developer, or a digital artist in the United States, you are currently standing at a crossroads. The barrier to entry for high-end production has been completely vaporized. We are no longer living in a world where you need a sprawling office in Los Angeles or a six-figure payroll to produce content that stops the world's most aggressive scroll. The reality of 2026 is that a single person equipped with the right algorithmic leverage can effectively outproduce a traditional 10-person agency. We are moving past the era of manual labor and into the era of the architectural creator, where your value isn't defined by how well you can move a keyframe, but by how effectively you can manage a fleet of autonomous digital agents. Today, I am pulling back the curtain on the exact tech stack I use to maintain a 10-person presence as a sovereign soloist. We are going to explore the architectural backbone of project management, the neural systems for visual production, and the automated logic that keeps a global brand running while you sleep. This is the Zero Editor system, and by the time we are done, you will have the blueprint to dominate the 2026 attention economy for exactly $0 in additional overhead. The biggest mistake solo creators make in 2026 is trying to keep their production schedule in their head or on a scattered list of notes. To look like a 10-person team, you must first possess the organizational discipline of one. My system begins with the integration of Airtable and Rike as the primary nervous system of my business. In 2026, these aren't just storage bins for data. They are relational engines that automate the administrative friction of high-volume freelancing. When I onboard a new client for a multimedia project, whether it's a Roblox UI design or a full-scale video tutorial, Airtable acts as my single source of truth. Through a series of custom API handshakes, any update in my project status on Rike triggers a mechanical reaction across my entire ecosystem. For instance, moving a task from drafting to review automatically generates a secure client portal link, populates a progress report, and drafts a follow-up email using localized LLM integration. This level of automated logistics allows me to handle complex, multi-stage contracts without ever needing a project manager or a personal assistant. It ensures that every client feels like they are my only priority, providing a premium experience that suggests a dedicated staff is working behind the scenes to keep the project on track. In the 2026 landscape, your organization is your most valuable asset. And by offloading the cognitive burden to these tools, you free your mind to focus entirely on the creative execution. In the visual domain, the Zero Editor system relies on a high-fidelity synthesis between DaVinci Resolve and Adobe Firefly. For the freelancer in 2026, the free version of DaVinci Resolve has become an unstoppable force of nature. Its Neural Engine 3.0 has effectively commoditized Hollywood-grade VFX. I use Resolve's Magic Mask and smart tracking features to perform complex rotoscoping and object isolation in seconds, tasks that would have traditionally required a junior editor and several days of manual labor. However, the real power comes from the integration of Adobe Firefly's generative video model. When I am editing a tutorial or a gaming montage, and I realize a shot is framed poorly or lacks a specific atmospheric element, I don't go back to film. Instead, I use Firefly's Generative Extend and Text-to-VFX to expand the frame, or add cinematic B-roll that matches my existing lighting and focal length. This allows me to hallucinate professional-grade production value from thin air. By utilizing the 2026 neural relighting tools within Resolve, I can map the three-dimensional geometry of my face and apply a virtual key light that mimics a 5-point studio setup, even if I filmed the original clip in a dimly lit home office. The result is a visual aesthetic that screams professional studio, while costing the creator absolutely nothing in equipment or personnel. One of the most persistent bottlenecks for the solo creator has always been audio production. The need for a treated room, a high-end microphone, and the physical stamina to record hours of narration. In 2026, the Zero Editor system solves this through 11 Labs professional voice cloning. I have developed a high-fidelity clone of my own voice, optimized to be soft, warm, and informational, which I use to handle 90% of my narration and tutorial scripts. This isn't about replacing the human element, it's about scaling it. I can draft a 1,600-word script in the morning and have the full narration rendered in my own voice with perfect emotional inflection by lunch. When combined with the voice isolation and dialogue leveling features in DaVinci Resolve, the final output sounds like it was captured in a world-class recording booth. For a US-based creator targeting an international audience, this tool also allows for instant multi-language localization that maintains my specific vocal timbre. This ensures that whether someone is watching my video in Iligan City or New York, the brand identity remains consistent and professional. It allows me to produce a volume of high-quality audio that would normally require a dedicated voice actor and a sound engineer, all while maintaining total creative sovereignty over the final mix. To maintain the appearance of a 10-person team, your visual identity across social platforms must be perfectly synchronized. This is where Adobe Express and Canva Pro's 2026 toolsets become indispensable. I use a brand kit philosophy where every asset, from my Roblox clothing textures to my YouTube thumbnails, is governed by a central design system. In 2026, the Magic Switch feature allows me to take a single high-resolution design and instantly reformat it into a comprehensive social media campaign. With one click, the system generates my TikTok overlays, Instagram carousel slides, and LinkedIn banners, all while maintaining the specific color palette and typography of my brand. For a multimedia professional, this automation is the difference between being a local freelancer and a global agency. It ensures that every touchpoint a potential client has with my brand is professional, cohesive, and visually striking. By using AI-driven text-to-graphic generators within these platforms, I can create unique branded illustrations that are legally cleared for commercial use, removing the need for a dedicated graphic designer. It's about creating a visual legacy that suggests a team of designers is constantly refining your image, when in reality, it is a single, well-configured design engine. The final piece of the zero-editor puzzle is the automation layer, specifically Make.com, formerly Integromat. This is the invisible hand that moves data between my creative tools and my distribution hubs. In 2026, my workflow is almost entirely hands-off once the final render is complete. When I export a video from Resolve, a watch folder on my cloud drive triggers a Make.com scenario. The system automatically uploads the raw file to a transcription service, sends the text to an LLM to generate SEO-optimized titles and descriptions, and then prepares the file for distribution across YouTube, X, and Facebook. It even schedules the posts based on the highest traffic windows for my specific audience in the United States. This distrobot replaces a social media manager and a copywriter, ensuring that my content is always positioned for maximum reach without me ever having to log into a social media dashboard. It allows me to work on the business rather than in the business, providing the strategic headroom necessary to manage complex projects like game development or thesis proposals without sacrificing my public presence. If you are using Airtable to manage your logic, Resolve and Firefly to master your visuals, and 11 Labs to scale your voice, you are an unfair competitor. You are a one-person media empire capable of competing with the largest agencies in the world. This is the ultimate toolset for the creator who wants to dominate the visual landscape without the weight of a traditional corporation. It is for the person who wants to win the attention war through intelligence rather than brute force. Thank you for watching this 10-minute deep dive into the 2026 Zero Editor system. I have included the master stack blueprint and links to the specific 2026 configurations for Airtable and Resolve in the description below, so you can start building your own solo empire today. If this blueprint helped you realize that your potential is no longer limited by your budget, please hit the like button and subscribe for more reviews of the agents that are defining the future of work. We will see you in the next one as we continue to architect the future together.